Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every Wednesday morning we go through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question will help me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be in next week's video. And if I did comment to you saying great question, I might use this, and I didn't, please drop that same question and put repeat question. I'll get moved to the top. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. It always helps me make my final decision. And I have been in the hobby for almost 30 years, so I've been here forever. And we do have to do the question of the day. What is your favorite reveal so far from the 30th anniversary? And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor, METATCG Collector. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I've tried every single one of them. They're always trying to improve too by adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to add or fix, and they'll get working on that immediately. They also do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby, so make sure you follow them on all their socials. I'll have all the links in the description. Then, of course, if you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD25, you get $25 off. And same thing with Tag. Use the code BEARD102, you get 10% off your first submission, and you just got to use a new email for both of those. And if you guys could do me a massive favor and download the FANATICS Collect app, go to Collect Originals, and follow the Pokebeard channel on there. We do a giveaway every single Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central for my preview of Following Friday. And same thing, Sunday, 7 p.m. Central for Market Monday. Live in the actual chat. It's completely free. Definitely check that out. And also be vending this weekend in Austin, Texas, July 10th through the 12th with Goop and Beard Dad. You can use the code POKEBEARD to receive $5 off your tickets. But all right, first question is from Tony Carapezza. I probably butchered that. Question, are we doomed for the incoming FOMO from the 30th reveal? It looks pretty hot. Honestly, yeah, it's going to be absolute chaos for these boxes. Like, if you guys thought people were fighting over boxes before, it's going to be nothing compared to this stuff. Like, if people actually see these UPCs or ETBs on the shelves, it's just going to be a war. In my opinion, this is the greatest UPC we've ever gotten, and we got two different kinds. Getting the Espeon and the Umbreon with the Pikachus, plus that gold pack, which has the rarest cards in the entire set guaranteed in the UPC, is just actually insane. But yeah, I think every single one of these products is going to be scalped like crazy. So we're on 130 point right now, checking the recently sold, even though these have not even gone up for pre-order. But a lot of stores know they're going to get a couple of them or whatever it is. So a lot of them sell them early. So we got the Umbreon UPC at $793, got the Espeon one at $700, and those are the newest sales. So those are honestly the cheapest sales that we have. We do have one Espeon one at $626. That looks like that is the cheapest. Decent amount of sales, though, right around $700. When I checked this literally yesterday, there was not nearly as many as these, so it's kind of crazy how many people are buying this. So that's why I would definitely try your hardest to lock in these pre-orders on the Pokemon Center website. I know easier said than done, but, you know, I would just start checking every day at like 10 a.m. or something like that, and, you know, just keep your eyes out, because if you can lock in a few of these pre-orders, it's going to be so nice. That is my main thing. It's going to be even tough to get any of these things from like an actual store or anything like that, because a lot of people aren't getting a lot from distribution right now. Like my local store, Punch Out, they're not getting a ton of numbers. They're not getting a ton of stuff, like half of what they used to get. And I'm talking like just earlier in the year, not like before the whole boom or anything. So it's going to be slim pickings out there. It's going to be war. So please be safe. If you guys are standing in line for these cards and something breaks out, you know, just get out of the way. Don't get involved, because people are going to be insane for these boxes. And then, yeah, I will also be posting on my Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok and stuff immediately when these go up for pre-order. So just, you know, follow as many people that do that as you can, so you have the best chance possible. I know everybody has to work and stuff when these drop, but as long as you get a bunch of notifications, you can maybe pull your phone out, set up the Pokemon Center website, and let it sit there for a while, because the queue is going to be very long for this set. Next is from @Nutcracker247. Why the heck isn't the rarest PSA 10s from Crown Zenith Experience a Boom 2? Shiny Zacian and Zemazenta each had their own premium Crown Zenith collection. Zacian Pop, 131, 17% gem rate. Zemazenta Pop, 88, 16% gem rate. Incredibly poor Sword and Shield gem rates for the premium collection headliner promos. Why aren't these 1K plus PSA 10 already? Thanks, Beard. So I think it is just because they are, you know, just shiny Pokemon full art. It's not the most popular of cards, but with a pop of 131 and a 10, 462 and a 9 at only $145, I genuinely feel like these are great pickups at that price. You know, just pick them both up. Costs you less than $300 to get two pretty rare cards when you actually think about it, especially the box is getting more expensive. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people just don't even know these things are even rare or even hard to grade, to be honest. I think reaching 1,000 might be tough, but I could see these easily being, you know, a few $100 a card, maybe even $500 a card one day, because these will just slowly go up in price, in my opinion, with that low of a pop. Yeah, this is probably one of the cheapest cards that you can actually buy with this low of a pop right now in this whole low pop crazy market. So, solid pickup. Next is from a member at Chubb. Hey Beard, been following for a while. Congrats on baby number 2. Question, when will Sword and Shield booster boxes boom, do you think? I have a Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies box, and they seem to be around the same price for a year with everything else going up in the market. Well, I think they just went so crazy like the last year and the year before that, because they were literally like $900. Now they're a couple grand. But yeah, the last year, they really have not done much. 1 year ago, it was $1,972. Now it's right around $26. So, I mean, honestly, if we weren't in a crazy market, that's super good. For a booster box to go from 1900 to 26, not bad. But here's the thing, when stuff gets really, really expensive, like over $2,000 in Pokemon, they don't move nearly as fast. You know, that's when it really starts slowing down. Because also, it's tough to manipulate a box that's $2,000. You got to buy a lot of boxes or do a lot of fake sales. Yeah, I am very confident, though, that these boxes will have another boom one day, just not sure when. I do think it will be soon. I do think Evolving Skies will be over 3K. You know, maybe when we get to Rayquaza set and stuff like that, you never know. And Fusion Strike could be 1,500 or $2,000. But I do think these boxes are due for a little boom compared to everything else in the market. But like I said, $1,900 to $2,600 in a year, super, super good. Next, from Gengar Trainer. Hello, Mr. Beard. Do you think the SIR Gengar from Ascended Heroes will come down? My son's favorite is Gengar. He is wondering if he should wait to see if it comes down, or he has an extra PC Prismatic ETB he could trade and a few other sealed as well. But he doesn't really like trading sealed for cards. I told him I'd ask you. Thank you so much. So I also don't like trading sealed for cards. But the Mega Gengar is coming down in price right now. Was that $1,400 now? $1,300, $1,275, $1,300, $1,270, $1,240, $1,330. We got one at $1,420, but most of them are all below $1,300. Basically, every big card right now is starting to drop a little bit in price. We're in our summer slump. So if I were you, I would just keep watching this Gengar, and hopefully it gets like at $1,000 or below $1,000, and then I'd probably pick it up, because with this market, I don't think these cards are going to stay down long, and people are going to just manipulate it and make it go right back up in price. And also, if this is a grail card of his, like literally like his all-time favorite card, I would definitely trade the Prismatic PC ETB, because the main thing here is, you know, collecting and stuff and getting exactly what you want. And if you're going to enjoy this card way more than that box, probably worth it. So that's probably what I would do. It is a beautiful, beautiful card. And I know a lot of people, like, it's their all-time favorite grail card. So if that's the case, then I think it's okay to, you know, trade some sealed towards it, because you probably got that sealed at a really good price. Next is from @2Jordan124. I asked a while back about the Mega Attack Rares from Ascended Heroes. They are very inexpensive currently, but in my opinion, they are highly undervalued. Could you touch on Mega Attack Rares? So they're actually coming down in price right now. So I honestly felt like they were a little overvalued, like the Dragonite. I mean, I can maybe see the Gengar being that high just because Gengar is so hot right now. But Gengar's down to $66. This card got up to $90. I think it was even at $100 once. And Mega Dragonite was at $60 for the longest time. Now it's at $49. And the rest of the attack rares are all like $10 or less. But I could see this Mega Dragonite being honestly a $30 card. And I feel like, you know, a $35 card, and it'd be a solid, solid pickup. And I could see Gengar being a $50 card with this little summer slump right now. So just keep watching them. You know, whenever anything is coming down in price, if you just watch it every day, you can kind of tell when it's about to go back up in price. You'll start seeing, you know, a little bit higher sales. The graph will actually start bouncing back. And then, you know, all right, probably time to buy the card. Next is from @Togzilla, speed 2374. Repeat, just picked up a legendary collection of reverse Charizard PSA 4. What's going on with this set? Just on fire. Love the content. Shout out from Boscobel, Wisconsin. So a neighbor. So yeah, legendary collection is just going insane right now. I'm not even kidding. It could be the most common Pokemon in the world. And if you want that card in near mint condition, it's getting close to being $100 like for every single card. So what's cool about that set is every single pack is guaranteed to have a reverse holo. Every single card in the set comes in a reverse holo. So to actually master the entire set is very difficult. It would take thousands and thousands and thousands of packs. Not to mention, since it has like that firework reverse holo, man, they had so many really bad print lines. So it's just super difficult to find these cards clean, which is why they all have such low pops. Some of the lowest pops in vintage Pokemon right now. But I remember picking up Legendary Collection reverse holos in near mint condition for $100. And the common guys, $5 a card, if that, sometimes $2, $3 a card, maybe $10 a card, depending on the Pokemon. So I'm so happy I finished my Legendary Collection set like 15 years ago. Not to mention, it's kind of like our first ever reverse holo, which in my opinion is still like the best looking reverse holo. Those cards just pop like crazy, but people honestly thought they were fake back in the day, which is hilarious. But yeah, super, super cool cards. Next is from Anthony Coco. Hi, Lord Beard. Love the channel and your content. Great to tune into a true collector. I have a sealed Pokemon Trading Card Classic box, the massive black one. Currently, the value of these cards raw exceeds the price of the box, plus there's a grading potential. Would you crack it or keep it sealed? I'm tempted as I have never pulled the base set starter evolution as a child, and I feel like these reprints could fill that void and display well. So as you guys know, I love to keep sealed, but with that box and like the guaranteed cards you get in there, because it's not like you're just, gambling, there's guaranteed cards in there. So it's one of the smarter and safer boxes to open, especially with that grading plate, but PSA is so expensive right now, $80 to get your card graded, kind of takes that out of it. But then again, you could always grade it a year from now when the other services come back. So if you really want to open the box, you've never gotten that, Charizard, I think it'd be okay to go with it. Especially, that box is so massive, you're going to end up having so many dings and dents. I have 2 or 3 of them. I think I have 3 of them. And I think 2 out of the 3 now have dents just from moving them multiple times. They're just so big. Next is from Ricky. I'm getting back into the hobby. Took a couple-year break. If you had $350 USD to invest in, what would you invest in? ETBs, slabs, near mint singles? Thanks. P.S. I opened 4 Crowns Unit ETBs a couple years ago. Wish I held on to them. So I would save all of that money for the 30th anniversary drop on the Pokemon Center website. Not even kidding. I'd put every single dollar towards that. That's going to be your smartest thing you can do right now. Next is from Kobem. Hey Beard, love the videos. Question, should I sell my PSA 10 Amazing Rare Rayquaza? I bought it for $30 in 2024. Seems crazy it's going for $220 plus right now. So if you need the money, you could definitely sell it. That's great profit. But in my opinion, I'd wait till the actual Rayquaza set comes out. You never know. Could be a $300, $400 card by that time, because the Rayquaza hype is going to be insane. So if it were me, I'd probably hold on to it. Next is from Jake Skew. Hello, wonderful Beard sir. I'm curious your thoughts on the mystery slab box craze that seems to be taking over the hobby right now. Because these mystery packs and digital rips are so popular, it feels like companies that run these are striving for inventory to keep up with demand. How much of this trend do you attribute to how insane the market is right now, and do you see this trend being a temporary fad or staying long term? Thanks, Mr. Wonderful Beard, sir. So I'm actually not a fan of any of the mystery slab boxes, any mystery packs, digital packs, or even box breaks. They're all set up to where they profit a ton and you guys get screwed over. Of course, a few people are going to get lucky, but I'm not a fan at all. I get offered a ton of money constantly to do live streams and do box breaks and stuff like that. I just don't want to do that. Pokemon is already so expensive. I don't want to make you pay $15 for a $12 pack. Like, if anything, that's why a lot of my sponsors are just trying to get you guys discounts, because I'd rather save you guys money instead of just sit and ask you every single day, hey, buy my packs, buy my packs, buy my packs. And because of these mystery packs, it honestly makes all the cards go up in price because they're constantly buying whatever they can, and they're going to shows they can offer 90 or 95%. Haven't you guys ever wondered why, all these people are offering 90, 95, or even 100%? Is because they overcharge. And like on Whatnot and stuff, when they do these big, auctions, a lot of these cards sell way over what they're actually selling for market, because a lot of the people buying them just don't even know. So yeah, I think it's all bad. I'm not a fan of it at all. And honestly, anybody who does that, I just feel like they're more about the money than the actual community or hobby. But all right, next question is from @WaterNG. Hi, Pokebeard. I was wondering what your take is for investing in vintage cards, especially gold stars and low to mid grades, since you mostly talk about modern investing. I thought it would be interesting to see your take on a different era of Pokemon. So one of the main reasons why I mostly focus on modern is because it's much more affordable. Vintage has just gotten so expensive. And honestly, I've been collecting vintage my whole life, so I already have pretty much all of the cards that I wanted to get. Like, I have all the gold stars, I have all the crystal cards, I have all the first edition shiny cards. I have pretty much all the rarest cards that have been released in Pokemon in English. And I got them when they were super cheap. So when I see these prices now, it's like, whoa, we're talking $5,000 for a card that I bought for, $130. So I just personally haven't been investing a ton in vintage just because I already invested so much into vintage. And, a lot of the vintage stuff is just so expensive to where, 99% of the people watching my videos can't really even afford any of the cards. And modern, like I said, is just so much cheaper and easier. But I've always been like the biggest vintage guy. I probably do more vintage stuff on my YouTube than probably any other PokeTuber that I see anyways, just because I do my Throwback Thursday every single week. But yeah, one of the main things I always say about vintage and why I like to collect, the rarest cards from every single era is you never know what Pokemon is going to recycle. We didn't think we were going to get more megas, and all the other megas just sat there dirt cheap, but we got more megas and a lot of them went crazy. Same thing will probably happen with tag teams, like level X cards, prime cards. You never know what Pokemon is going to recycle. So, and then I've also been in Pokemon my entire life, and I played the TCG for 20 years. So I was there opening packs, every new set. So all of these cards and all these chases, I actually chased myself, actually opening and, trying to collect. So they're all super special. But yeah, luckily, I bought them all a very long time ago, so I don't have to worry about these crazy prices right now. But yeah, I actually love like the gold stars and the low to mid grades because they are expensive and most people can't afford a 7, 8, 9, or 10 now. And honestly, a 4, 5, and 6 is perfect to either display or crack out of the slab and throw them in the binder. I've bought so many PSA 4, 5, and 6s of gold stars and crystal cards throughout the years. And I usually just try to upgrade every time to where like I had a PSA 4, gold star Metagross. And then I eventually got a 5, and then I sold the 4, and then, kept the 5. So I'd always do stuff like that. But yeah, I love vintage so much. Next is from @Bincy's question. What's your take on selling a course on how to grow a business in this hobby? And what's your take on PCG grading? Hot topics. Not a fan of PCG. And the whole selling a course on how to grow a business in this hobby was not a fan of that whole situation. Sure, everybody has seen that. That's a lot of money. $2,500 is kind of crazy. But I mean, I get offers literally every single week for people to pay me a ton of money to just like have a phone call with me and ask a bunch of questions. And I literally never take them. I literally have a playlist on my channel called How To, and it's a how-to series where I make how-to videos showing you guys how to do everything that you really need to know in this hobby. So not a fan of that, especially, them caring a little bit more about the people who paid for the course than all of the fans who got upset. Because if you don't have any fans, you don't really have a channel. Next is from Alex Martinez Guitar. I missed out on a Bubble Mew when it was around 500. It's become my Grail Chase card. Right now I have sealed PC ETBs. 1 Destin, 1 Chaos, 1 Phantasmal, 2 Ascended, and 2 Pitch Black on pre-order. If your goal is a mix of collecting and investing, would you sell any combination of those PC ETBs to buy a raw Bubble Mew now? Or would you keep the sealed product and wait? Which ETBs would you be most willing to part with, and which would you absolutely hold long term? If your goal is a mix of collecting and investing, would you sell any combination of those PC ETBs to buy a raw Bubble Mew now? Or would you keep the sealed product and wait? Which ETBs would you be most willing to part with, and which would you absolutely hold long term? Thanks, Beard. So I would definitely sell the Chaos Rising. You could definitely sell the Phantasmal and the 2 Pitch Blacks on pre-order. Those 4, guaranteed. I would try to keep the Destin and the Ascended Heroes, to be honest. And also the Phantasmal you might want to try to keep, but I'd definitely be okay with selling that one before Destin and Ascended. And that should get you a decent amount of money, because Phantasmal Flame's PC ETBs now are in the 300s, with Chaos close to 200, so we're at 500. You got the 2 Pitch Black. We're getting super close. Plus, I do think that Mew will come down a little bit more this summer. So that's what I would do. Next is from TJ Bartlemus. What is your opinion on Pokemon parody cards in a time where it's super hard to find real product? As someone who just wants to collect cards for fun, I think this is preferable to overpaying for scalp cards. Sets like Poke, Gaku are super cool, and I would rather support small artists. So I actually don't really collect anything like that because I'm also super, super cheap. So I have so many different collections I'm trying to complete at all times, even not just in Pokemon. I collect small soldiers toys. I collect Pokemon toys. I collect, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all the vintage stuff. I collect some Digimon. Like I'm trying to get all the French old school Digimon cards, stuff like that. So there's always other collections that I'm trying to finish. But if they're very affordable and they're fun to open, totally fine with, buying a few packs here and there, a box here and there, or just some of the cards to just open up and have some fun. But I would not spend a ton of money doing it, because if you ever try to sell them or if you need money, they're just impossible to move. And last question is from PhD. Hey Beard, where do you get your protective cases for your Pokemon Center ETBs? I get them from Platinum Protectors, and we are working on a new discount code very soon. It should be happening in the next week or two, trying to get you guys a little bit better of a discount. So definitely check that out. Just met him actually when I was in Vegas. One of the nicest people I've ever met. And I've been working with them for a very long time. Definitely check them out. But all right, that was this week's What If Wednesday. And if you guys enjoy What If Wednesdays and you guys like asking me questions and stuff like that, you guys definitely got to download the Fanatics Collect app, because I'm actually live in the chat every time I post. So you guys can actually ask me questions live in the chat and I'll sit there and answer them. So every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, I'll be posting my Falling Friday, and we're also going to be doing a live giveaway in the chat. It's all completely free. And same thing every Sunday, 7 p.m. Central. So for my Market Monday, and you guys can watch it hours before I post it on YouTube, and you can ask me whatever questions you want, and you have a chance of winning a giveaway. So definitely check it out. Make sure you follow my channel on there. I'd really appreciate it. I'll have all the links in the description. And of course, if you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. You guys want to support more? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my newest vending video, you can click the one above. It's probably my best one yet. Otherwise, I have an entire playlist full of all my other vending videos you guys can check out. But all right, see you next time.